What were your wife's symptoms?
I don't know. I ain't a doctor, but a lot of stomach stuff, cramps, throwing up, just pain everywhere. She was even starting to see stuff that wasn't there. Talking crazy. It was awful.
What about everyone else who's sick?
Most are poor like us, around the neighborhood of the gates. Left the corporations with nothing. Arrived here with nothing. Now they're dying because they can't even afford a doctor.
Let me go talk to other refugees and see what I can find.
Thank you, Mr. Mancer.
Fortunately, this is beyond my skill level. Hey, let me ask you if you...
Sure. Why not? What do you want to know?
You know the man beside you?
Of course. He's a friend.
What are his symptoms?
Stomach aches real bad. Yeah, he, has trouble, holding it in, if you know what I'm saying.
The symptoms seem to align with cholera. Worrisome. Might be the start of a terrible outbreak, but could also be foodborne, perhaps, too. Maybe from the community soup so many of them feed themselves from. Contamination, or even poison?
Well, it won't be a hard theory to test. Nearly everyone eats the community soup. Good or not, it's free. And free's all most can afford.
We need to talk to whoever's making the soup. What's he been up to since he came to knock this?
Well, we haven't been here for too long now. Got no steady work and no serum. So what he'd do is the odd jobs here and there when he could find them. Same as most of the rest of us. We all sleep in here. Hang around the city the rest of the day, that's about all of it. Not much else to tell, honestly.
Think he could have eaten something that made him sick?
Maybe. I don't really know. He's been eating a lot from the community soup, I know that.
You haven't?
Well, I woulda, but first time I gone there, I got in an argument with the religious fella that runs it. About religious things and such, you know? So, I don't come back. Not really welcome. Found other ways to stay fed.
How you feeling?
Oh, I don't know, fine, I guess. All things considered. I don't think I'm sick right now, but I've grown real tired looking after him. Don't sleep so well lately because of it.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Oh, my stomach. Oh, my stomach.
I'm trying to figure out what's making everyone sick. Can I grab a blood sample from you? It'd help a lot.
Yeah. If it helps find a cure. Take all you want. Ah.
I should be able to use this to see what's making all those people sick. This is a sample of a sick man.
I don't see why not. Unless it's some special sort of unanalyzable plasma of the likes I've never encountered before. Like that sandwich I ate earlier. Unlike anything I've ever... I digress. Yes, the analysis. I will get right to it. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, whoever gave this blood. I cannot imagine the pain he must be in with this level of arsenic. If he doesn't stop eating it, Zachariah, he will die. Tell him that. And give him a decoction of Allia Martis. A great antidote for such poisoning.
These people were poisoned. Had to be the community soup. Need to take a sample, run some tests, and find out what's in it.
Most exotic goods on the planet. All here, in one stall.
I just need information.
The only information I have is about my goods.
Hey there.
What do you want, human?
You work here?
Yep, I help cook.
You eat here too?
Yes, of course. But only a little. I have a weak stomach, so I don't eat everything that's offered. Why?
I'm sure you've heard about all the refugees getting sick. There's a chance it's coming from your food.
Oh, my. I couldn't imagine how. I just take what they give me and cook the dishes how I'm told. That's all. I don't add anything. So the disease must be coming from somewhere else.
Who gives you the food?
Well, I mean, it all comes from the parish donations given to the preacher's family. Real good people, you know. They can't have anything to do with it. Their son actually heals the sick, so don't go pointing the finger at them, you hear me? It ain't in the food that's making people sick, I'll tell you that.
Let's analyze this and end the mystery. Here's a sample of the community soup the refugees are eating. Need to know if it's got arsenic in it.
I don't like soup, Zachariah. Makes me sweat when I eat it. Unless it's cold soup. And even then, I don't like it. Never trust a man who eats or makes soup. That's a fact.
Maybe you could just put that back to test with a little science? Actual experimentation on the sample?
Fine. Just as I said. And yet another reason to hate soup. It's laced with garbage like arsenic. Who would feed such a dish to the poor, Zachariah? Tell me that.
This wasn't a disease. This was poisoning. And that soup's the source. And I doubt it's a coincidence that the source of both the soup and the antidote is the preacher's son. What the hell would possess you to poison all those refugees? What did they ever do to you to deserve that?
Have you ever been adored by people? How generous they can be when you save their lives. When they believe that you healed them, they flocked to my father's temple. Why wouldn't I have done it?
Because people died, and a lot are still suffering. You're pathetic.
Maybe so. But better to be disgusting than stupid. I knew you'd be coming around sooner or later, so I loaded up with bodyguards. Do what I'm paying you for! Kill him! Stop! I'm rich! Everyone respects my father in Noctis. Let me live, and he will pay you all the serum you could ever want.
I'm not gonna kill you. Enough people have died already. What you're gonna do is give the antidote to every refugee you made sick, and never go within a block of that community soup again. We clear?
Yes, of course. Sure. Antidote for everyone, yeah, and I promise not to do anything like that ever again. How stupid, I swear. Thank you.
Don't thank me. I already regret not making you pay dearly.
So, you find a cure yet?
I did. Except it's an antidote, not a vaccine. You'll find stocks of the plant that will help you heal everyone in the preacher's son's neighborhood. It's all over now. Don't worry.
Thank you, Mr. Mancer. Thank you so very much.
You wanted to see me?
Yes. I apologize once again for having to play this role in front of you, but the situation was a difficult one, and I could not risk blowing my cover.
I understand. You're one of Dandolo's spies too?
No. I work for my people, even if Dandolo was a precious ally. I was in Ophir to plan an escape, but it was not exactly what I wanted to tell you about. I would like to offer you my services.
You're also a mercenary?
No, I am not interested in serum. And a Technomancer ally, yes. It is rare for mutants to know someone with your talents. So if you need a hand or any information, you know where to find me. And maybe I will ask for your services once in a while.
All right. When did you discover that you were a mutant?
The first symptoms of mutation appeared when I was very young. I must say that I can't really remember very well. My mother noticed them, and she taught me how to hide the marks, even though I think that I didn't know what it meant. She was hoping to keep me close to her, but as soon as the first marks appeared on my face, they spotted me out right away. I will never forget my arrest, how violent they were toward my mother. I was just a kid. I was sent to one of the farms on the outskirts of town. That's where I learned what it meant to be a mutant.
What really happened with your mother? I must say I didn't understand much. That stone? The police's arrival?
My mother was helping me as much as she could to carry out my mission. She would provide me with information, sometimes hide mutants on the run before they could leave the city. She was a wonderful woman, Zach, but someone turned her in. Fiorello heard and raced to get me out with your aid. Though how I yearned to save her, to get to the slums to warn her. But I knew I could not. You, though, could. The stone was a token of recognition. She knew what it meant. If she was turned in, she had to leave as soon as possible. And if she couldn't, the drawing was made with an ink made of jellyfish venom.
But why give her that poison?
I didn't want her to die, Zach. I loved my mother. But I knew what the ASC would do to her in their jail. If they caught her, she needed a way to avoid being tortured.
What's the Mutant Nation? You created it, right?
It is a little overblown, but I was one of its founders, among many others. Of course, other mutants were living outside the city as runaway slaves, hidden here and there, stealing whatever they could find in order to survive. A small community had settled in Noctis and benefited from the hospitality of the merchants, who allowed them to move around freely. However, we did not have any way to defend ourselves or plan a future. We were all spread out. A few of us decided to get together. We found a place, a very unique one, and we soon started doing it up, bringing in equipment and erecting houses. As for me, I especially wanted to free as many brothers and sisters as possible. So I went back to Ophir, and I realized that nobody cared about mutants, especially if they didn't look very smart. I began to help dozens of them escape. And our nation soon began to grow. There are a lot of us now, and I hope that all mutants will be able to live there someday.
What can you tell me about Ophir's mutant pen?
You saw for yourself. Violent slave drivers and harsh work conditions have reduced mutants to beasts. I do not hate humans, you know that. But when I think about that place, I feel outbursts of hate.
What can you tell me about Andrew?
He is a hurt man. He hides his suffering under a cynical and detached attitude. But he lost way more than his arm, even if I do not know what it is. If you could help him heal his wounds and become what he ought to become, you will discover without a doubt that he is a very giving friend, and maybe he will be less bitter.
Hi, Nisha.
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach. How are...
Hello, Amelia. What do you think of Andrew?
Besides the fact that he still has to fucking square it with abundance, he isn't too bad. Street smart, and his being a smuggler gives him an edge. But he isn't into me, and I'm not into pining over a guy who doesn't bother to look at me anyway.
Tell me more about you growing up.
What's there to say? I was a ward of the state in Abundance's centers. It was lonely and, you know, the other kids were assholes, but I gotta tell you, those times my dad returned from his missions, and I got to see him, best times of my life.
Wait, what? I thought the reason you'd been placed in a center was that your dad disappeared.
Who the hell told you that? No, I was real young when they took me away. My parents were always off on missions, and someone had to take care of me, you know? I don't even remember living with them. Honestly, I don't want to talk about it.
Sure, sorry. Yeah, of course. Besides your rovers, what else makes you happy here, Amelia?
Nature. Not the bugs or animals and stuff, but the landscapes, you know? Sunsets, mountains scraping the sky, red water trickling down the hills in the spring, gray lichen floating in the morning breeze. Back in Ophir, I used to take the rover out before sunrise just to take it all in. Always managed to put things in perspective, you know? How small we all are.
Amelia the poet philosopher. Who'd have thought it?
Why you gotta be a smartass?
Aha, I'm not. I just never saw that side of you. The passion. Makes me want to take a rover out before dawn tomorrow.
Well, let's go together. I've always wanted to share it with someone.
Are you seeing anyone at the moment?
What, you mean a boyfriend? No, not right now. You applying for the position?
I mean...
Look at your face! You can't even come up with something to say. Listen, you don't look half bad, soldier. Won't take too much for me to cuddle up with you at night.
Hey.
Hey, back.
Should have remembered you. Back when we were kids, the world just revolved around you.
Really? How so?
You were quite the charmer. Everyone gravitated to you. Made me feel like I didn't even exist. I was just one of the many kids who dreamed of being your friend. Remember the feeling more than anything else.
Funny you remember that. Yeah, we were both kind of... Neither one of us really fit in. We were just outsiders in different ways. I tried to do too much, tried to make up for being different. Never thought I'd see you again.
Zachary...
Hi, Nisha.
Hi, Zach. Everything...
Hey.
Hey, back.
hey, you. Yes, you. Do you have a mo...
Hey there.
Hello.
Zachariah.
A pleasure then, Zachariah. Are you a hunting enthusiast? A trapper?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm none of those things.
Ah, well.